let's just keep piling on the pressure on Arsenal. It's in Arsenal's hands. Arsenal should get in the top 4, and if they don't, then we will be there to capitalise on their mistakes. But it's all on Arsenal. Arsenal have been good. Let's not get away from the fact that they've been very, very good. They got beat by Liverpool, but apart from that, the performances have been top class. Spurs, look, West Ham, they were really poor, weren't they? Flat as a pancake from midweek. Had nothing really to offer. Couldn't get out of second gear. And you know, Spurs were fresher than them. We were more ruthless than them, more clinical. And when you've got Kane and Son in your side, you've always got a chance of winning games. So
Thuram linking up, unbelievable. Was it the second goal? I thought, was it Kane's pass? Inside left channel,
what a pass! What a pass!
Absolutely tremendous.
And you know what that's like, Ali, as a centre forward, when you've got someone who can, you know, you just make the run, and you know that player can put it right in your path, and all you've got to do is have a touch and get a shot away. You know, Harry Kane is completely back to his best, and he's took a lot of stick this season, especially at the start. But now, you know, for me, he's absolutely world class again, and absolute joy to watch.
What do you think, Jamie? As I say, I only saw the highlights, and I agree with you. They looked a bit, jaded's not the right word, but they did look a little bit flat.
Dead on their feet. They were dead on their feet, Ali. And you know what? No excuses, by the way, because, you know, West Ham, it was an unbelievable week for them in terms of beating Sevilla and going through. But in terms of actually their performance on the weekend, they were really poor. They were shocking. And you know, the owners really need to have a word with themselves, because they had the chance to invest in January and didn't take it. And, you know, poor David Moyes and his squad is having to put the team out pretty much every single week. Players who are not 100% fit, trying to get results. And that could come back to cost them. You know, if they finish 8th this season and then get knocked out of the Europa League, I think the West Ham fans will have the ump. Because really and truthfully, you have these big European nights and you want to have this massive stadium. The London Stadium, it was rocking, you know, on a Thursday, which is what West Ham fans want. Well, invest in your team and make sure that when you play at the weekend, you can still put in a decent performance, because they had nothing to give. They were knackered.
Jamie's back. Good morning,
well, it's
Jamie.
True. Yeah, I know, but it's a good point to make. That's a good point to make.
I think West Ham fans would probably look at their squad and feel that it's a little bit thin. And you're right. When they had the chance to really capitalise on potentially finishing top 4, that was the time to do it. But I seem to remember, I'm sure I saw an interview with them saying that they didn't have the people that they wanted to bring in, or they couldn't get the people they wanted to bring in, so they didn't want to just spend money on people that they didn't genuinely believe in.
Spend the money, though. Spend the money and get the players you want. You know, money talks at the end of the day. You want to be a top football club. You want to get in there and break into that sort of top 6 that everyone goes on about. And they've had that opportunity to do it. But I think it would cost them.
Well, Jamie, how did Kulusevski do?
Very good.
Yeah, he looked good in the highlights I saw.
Very good. He's been a top signing for us, actually. And you know what? He gives us balance, you know, because you got Harry Kane, who gets into the pockets and can play key passes. Son's the guy that kind of runs in behind and always looks to get beyond. And Kulusevski's the kind of floater. He gets on it, gets in like good little areas, and he comes in on his left, plays little 1-2s, and it allows Doherty to go on the outside, which is where he plays his best football. And before, when we was playing Lucas Moura, he'd play really out wide, and Doherty was kind of having to run inside to find space, and that was why I think he was playing probably really poor. But Kulusevski coming in all the time gives the space for Doherty to get on the outside. That's why you're seeing the best of him as well.
And it all contributed to a big 3-1 win over West Ham and London derby as well. Why don't we hear from your boss, Antonio Conte? Let's do the weekly emotional check-up on Antonio Conte and see how he's feeling about his connection with the Spurs fans.
But for me, it gives me a great satisfaction, and I think that I'm in Tottenham only 5 months, and for sure I'm working very hard with my players, with the club, to try to improve the situation. And I think our fans are appreciating especially this aspect, and I'm totally committed in this club to try to make improvement, and I'll do this until the end.
Okay, there you go. Antonio Conte sounding like he's enjoying life a little bit more now. Well, Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's so emotional, isn't he? And we are inconsistent. Spurs have been so inconsistent. I still don't think he knows what team is going to go out there and get a result for him. You know, you never know. You can put in a great performance against West Ham, and then, you know, next week we could be poor. So that is the problem with Spurs at the minute. But I think if we can keep clinging on and keep having a chance of being in amongst it, you know, we've still got to play Arsenal, which is a massive game, and you know, it's still all there to play for. And I'd love to see us get in the top 4. I really would. And
do you think you will?
No. I'm going to say that because I want to pile in the pressure on Arsenal. And ever since I've said Arsenal for top 4, we've crawled it back a little bit. I think Arsenal are a more sort of balanced team in terms of they all know what they're doing. I think Spurs are still a little bit inconsistent.
I remember a few months back and you said to me, do you think Arsenal will get top 4? And I said no. And you went, why aren't you backing your team? Why aren't you believing in them? So why aren't you believing in your team?
That's true. Because
I think he is secretly.
Yeah, secretly.
He just doesn't want to say it.
I don't want to say it and jinx it
Yeah.
because I think we're there, but we are inconsistent.
What percentage do you think you've got of finishing top 4?
Why are you trying to squeeze it out of me all the time?
Okay, I've got another question for you. It's slightly easier to answer.
Go on.
Is Heung-min Son all right? Because I saw him get a terrible hit on the back with a ball.
That looked bad.
And he took an awful fall.
That was
and I
embarrassing.
just wondered if you checked in on him. Is he all right?
That was embarrassing, wasn't it? It was embarrassing. I mean, I love Son, and he was absolutely brilliant yesterday.
Yeah.
But, you know, really and truthfully, you know, as much as we don't
can't
like
be doing that.
You can't be doing that. Zuma kicks the ball at him and he goes down like a sack of potatoes. I just think you're giving a really bad sort of look to all the young up and coming footballers out there and the young people who play Sunday League over the parks, and they're seeing that. You don't want to do that. Come on, it's unsportsmanlike. Why do you want to get players sent off for something ridiculous? If it's a bad tackle, fair enough, but stuff like that, come on.
Can I ask because I've seen the GIF is going around of him obviously doing it. It's going around everywhere. In a players group chat, would they be sharing that GIF?
I would send it in there. Yeah, I would absolutely send it in and be like, what are you doing?
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.